Welcome to the Millennial Rant, a podcast about whatever's bothering me today. With topics ranging from politics to pop culture, there's a rant to cover everyone. For more Millennial Rant content, you can join me on the web at millennialrant.com. For those of you who may have missed a large number of my previous videos, I have a big family. I have 6 brothers, 1 sister, and of course my parents. But among my siblings, my brothers are all mostly married. I think at this point Ethan's the only one who isn't. They're all married and most of them have kids. So of the 4 who have kids, between them, they have 9. I adore my nieces and nephews, right? Like to the point where if something were to happen to these kids, I would probably John Wick the world to the ground. This brings me kind of in a very roundabout way to the topic of this video, which is social media babies. I don't mean kids who grew up on social media. I mean kids who are featured on social media. Parents who use their kids as accessories in order to get likes and views and make money. Now, phrasing it that way may seem unfair, right? Especially for the parents who are able to use the funds that they make from the videos that they do with their kids in order to support their kids, spend more time with their kids, and genuinely just enjoy the family life that they have together. But there are always going to be those people who genuinely are just using their kids as accessories. This has always been the case throughout history. People have always, brought out their kids and said, "Oh, look how wonderful my children are." Or, "Oh, my son went to Oxford and got a degree and whatever." And, there's always going to be those parents in the world. The problem that I have is that you genuinely can't tell, for the most part, when it comes to social media, which parents genuinely care about their kids and want to be able to spend more time with their kids and want to be able to do something that allows them to interact with their kids but also makes money, that sort of thing. Dad Dude strikes me as one of those people who uses his social media to genuinely better the lives of his family and his children. His children don't feature a whole lot in his videos, and when they do, it's usually more satirical than it is anything else. So that's, I enjoy his content a lot. There's another content creator who talks about his children a lot. I don't know his name at all. He talks about his children a lot, the experiences that he has with his children, the interactions, the stories, all of that sort of like dad life kind of stuff. And he's, I think, a lawyer, and he goes to work every day, and social media is just something that he kind of does on the side. But his kids don't ever feature. If you do see his kids, it's usually like the back of their head because he's recording while he's holding a baby. And so don't have a problem with that either. But the problem does come in, even with videos like the ones that are done by Dad Dude, in that really and honestly and truly, children cannot consent. And this has been a problem in Hollywood for generations, right? Kids who become child actors, who get into this society that they really are not equipped to handle in any way whatsoever. Parents take advantage of their kids because of their talents, take advantage of the money that they're making, whatever the case. And so it becomes very difficult to be able to determine whether these kids need help, whether they're being properly taken care of, whether they have any real conceptual understanding of what it is they're getting into at all. At least in Hollywood, there are a lot of, fail-safes in place. They don't always work, but, there's a lot that's done in order to make sure these kids live as normal a life as possible, keyword being as possible. And even then, a lot of times they fail. We've seen a lot of of light being shed on bad behavior between adults and children in these, Hollywood settings, even on, supposedly kid friendly networks. Children on social media don't really have any advocates all except for their parents. If their parents are the ones that are doing the exploiting, what can you do? And I bring this up because a while ago there was a family that was busted for basically abusing their kids through social media. And, they used them as props in their videos, but they were, if they performed badly, they were punished for it. They were kept ostracized and isolated away from the world. They were not fed properly. They were not bathed and clothed properly, and they were really just brought out to be accessories in the videos that these parents were doing. And now some of the videos that I saw after the fact, I didn't know anything about them while this was happening. But some of the videos I saw after the fact were definitely alarming in the way that they treated their kids, the way that their kids clearly did not want to be in the videos, but they didn't have a say because their parents decided that this was something that they were going to do, quote, as a family. So how do we manage that? Is it getting to the point where kids on social media need to be assigned agents or advocates or something? Do they need to have like contract negotiations? I think probably no, that's a little ridiculous. Like, how would you even manage that? Some mom takes a video of their kid doing something cute, posts it on the internet, it goes viral. Next thing you know, you really don't have a handle on that. Another way to address this is to say that kids can't be featured on social media at all. That it is against the law to put videos or pictures of kids onto social media, or to make money off of or to monetize those videos, so that if the only videos that you can post on social media are videos of adults talking about kids, you can't actually show kids anymore, or they get demonetized, there would be a significant drop in social media accounts for sure. But that's not really the way to go either, because how are you going to regulate that? So there's a lot of problems with kids being featured in social media, and there aren't really a lot of solutions. There's a lot of things and ideas being bandied around, but nothing that has really been able to put a finger on and say this is it. I do know how my family has chosen to address the social media issue within their individual family units. One of my sisters-in-law has decided that her kids are not to be featured on social media at all. No pictures, no videos, not on Instagram or Facebook, none of it. That her kids, their faces are not going to be posted on social media. And the reason why she decided this is because there are a lot of people out there who take those images and those videos and they do bad things with them. Like, that's just a fact. And that's another thing to be concerned about with these kids who are on social media, is that maybe it's not their parents that are exploiting them. Maybe it's bad people who are following them on the internet, who take their image and their likeness and do bad things with it. So, we've seen that with other social media celebrities. This is, I think, less of a rant video and more of a contemplation video. Like, where do we go from here? Obviously there are problems. How do we handle them? I don't know. I don't have the solutions. I wish I did. I wish I could sit here and say with all certainty that this is exactly what should happen and how it should happen and how it should be regulated and how it should be managed and whatever, but I can't. This isn't the Mandalorian. There is no this is the way. So I don't know. I do know, however, I will do everything I can to protect my nieces and nephews. And even though they do absolutely hilariously adorable things, and I would love for the world to be able to see them and interact with them and love them as much as I do, I also want them to be protected. And I also want them to know that there is no chance that they can be exploited if they don't show up on social media. Now, have they never shown up, and will they never? No, they have. I, on this podcast, had Abby come on and do a video with me. I did get permission from her parents. I did ask Abby if she was okay with it. But, I haven't done subsequent videos. I don't know as I ever will. And the other podcasts that I'm trying to do, I launched it and then just kind of never did anything with it, is stories that I tell to my nieces and nephews and stories that they tell to me, but it's all audio. And I will never do that with video. I can't say never. I have no plans to ever do that with featuring videos of the kids. I wish that I had a magic answer. I wish that the world was not such a place where we had to ask these questions and be concerned about these things in the first place. Unfortunately, we do live in such a world because people have agency and they use their agency to do bad things. And so the best that people like me who, do good things and, try to be good people who, treat our neighbors the way we'd like to be treated, who care about children and would die to protect them and, sometimes kill to protect them. I wish there were more people in the world like me and those like me to be fair, I think most people in the world are like that. The large majority of people in the world are like that. It's a very, very, very small minority of people who use their agency to do bad things to hurt kids in these ways. Unfortunately, they do exist. And they make themselves very known. So, yeah. I got a little depressed in myself there at the end because I don't know how to change things. I don't know how to make a difference. I do know that I would like to. And for now, I'm not going to tell people that they got to take their kids off of social media. But I do want to be aware myself that things are not always as they seem. They don't, just because a family looks happy and content and, doesn't mean that that's the reality. Social media is no more real anymore than reality television. And that's something that I'm going to keep in mind as I, skim through social media and occasionally come across a adorable family and with their children doing adorable family and children things. And unfortunately, there's always going to be a part of me that wonders, not just about the family, but also about the other people who are seeing it. And I will do my part as best I can to make sure that no child is ever exploited. But that will only work if everybody else does their part too.